It was the castle around which a town grew. We can see the formidable layout of its ramparts and towers. You can see how close to the water the castle stands. Somewhere which could be easily supplied or relieved by sea was a prerequisite for the first builders. But who were those first builders? On whose orders was the fortress constructed? Well, it's thought the orders came from Magnus, the last of the Scandinavian dynasty, founded by Godred Crovan, the Viking leader, under whose leadership the kingdom of Mann and the Isles emerged. Initially, from 1265, it would have comprised of a simple stone keep at the centre of the castle, about 46 feet square. A moat would have surrounded the keep, and clustered round would be some simple huts. The legendary Scots leader, Robert the Bruce, invaded the island in 1313. The castle fell after 4 weeks, and it's believed much of the keep's walls were demolished, so as not to leave a viable fortress in the Bruce's rear. When the Earl of Shrewsbury was granted the island, just over 200 years later, he took stone from the nearby quarries and expanded the fortress. There were new walls built, as well as flanking towers, an eastern tower, a gateway, and a new 8-sided curtain wall. A guardhouse and kitchens were constructed. The castle was looking much more like we see today. The work was finished by his son. It's said that when French pirates attacked and captured the island, they weren't able to take the castle, which was now formidable. For centuries, the fortress has dominated this, the southern capital of Mann. When Castletown, with its fortress, was the capital of the island, the reins of power were also located here. The governor lived here, and also the House of Keys was here, the Manx Parliament, which gathered in the building in the centre of this shot. The castle is in superb condition because it was never tested by cannon, although it came desperately close during the English Civil War. Parliamentary forces had drawn up their siege pieces and were preparing to open fire just as the castle was surrendered. That meant it has survived intact to this day. The castle, looming over the harbour, has been witness to some remarkable sights, including the World Tin Bath Championships. The idea is to get to the finish line first, but for most, just managing to stay afloat is something of an achievement. For those who like a bit of company while they're getting cold, wet and exhausted, just tie some tubes together and invite some friends. It's called a snake. Or, of course, you could glue on some feathers and try and fly a certain distance. There is a prize on offer. There's someone else who won't be collecting it.